This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
One person is rushed to the hospital following a shooting on the city's east side. Breaking out 5 o'clock, what police say led up to the shooting.
Plus, are you registered to vote in next month's elections? This morning, our Kelsey Anderson is breaking down how long you have to get registered.
Plus, Colts fans are waking up with a big smile this morning. We're breaking down the Horseshoe's big win in Kansas City. 5 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Alyssa Donovan is here with our forecast for this Monday. And after kind of a yucky day yesterday, I think we have a pretty good week ahead.
Yeah, we have a really nice week ahead. We are going to dry out today and most of the week before we see the potential of some much needed rain by Friday and Saturday. We did get some of that rain yesterday. Not a ton, about a quarter inch. We do need quite a bit more. It's been a very dry season so far. 55 to start this morning. A little bit muggy as you step outside, and that's just because there's some moisture hanging around in the air from that cold front that moved through yesterday, brought us that rainfall, and we are going to see that humidity dry up as we head through the day because of high pressure building in. We are tracking just a few stray showers to the south of Seymour moving across I-65 this morning. Those are going to dissipate very quickly though, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. We are going to see that high pressure build in behind that cold front. As that pushes out, we'll see that pressure move in. That will clear out a lot of our cloud coverage. It will also clear out any chances of those stray showers this morning that are around the south. We'll see high pressure warm us up as well. So we'll see plenty of sunshine today, and then that is going to help us with that daytime heating. Temperatures just right about average today, if not a little bit above. So cloudy till about midday, then plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Highs in the low 70s.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look here at our traffic now map. Overall, everything's traveling pretty smoothly around the metro area. Northbound I-65 back open early this morning on the south side. We do have some ramp work here at Keystone Avenue and I-465, so use caution as you travel through that area this morning. And also take a look up here in Carmel. We are monitoring a crash involving a semi from our INDOT traffic camera. This is in the right northbound lane. You see the flashing lights there on your screen. So take it slow. You can still get by slowly in one left lane as you're traveling northbound. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this, and we do have a crew heading to the scene. Well, now to a deadly crash. This one's on I-70 in Clay County. It's likely going to cause you problems if your plans take you west this morning. This is the scene near the Brazil exit. We're told that the crash involves 2 semis and 2 other commercial vehicles. At least 1 person has died in the pileup. The crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning. INDOT reports that both westbound lanes will remain closed for at least another hour as officials work to determine what happened here.
One person is recovering this morning following a shooting on the city's east side. It happened on Balboa Court near 42nd and Post Road. Authorities tell us they responded to a shots fired call, and when they arrived, they found a man sitting in the driver's seat of a car with a gunshot wound. Police say the car was also shot multiple times. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. No word this morning on if police are still searching for a suspect.
Time right now is 5:03, and Meredith, I already know the answer to this, but did you stay up to watch the big game last night?
No, I was fast asleep.
Right?
And if you're like us and you didn't, we can tell you your Indianapolis Colts pulled off a big win on Sunday Night Football.
Yes.
It was a huge matchup for the Colts against the undefeated Chiefs out in Kansas City. The odds seem stacked against the Colts with 3 defensive players, including Darius Leonard, out for the game. That didn't stop the Colts, though, from delivering a masterful defensive performance, holding the Chiefs to just a touchdown and 2 field goals. The offensive was able to do enough, including 4 field goals from Adam Vinatieri. The final score 19-13, and here's what head coach Frank Reich said following the game.
Okay, wow, what a great win. What we said in there in that locker room was the one emotion that we were not feeling was shock. I can't even explain it.
You know, it was awesome to be able to come out here and in a place like this against a team like that. It took a total team effort today.
The Colts have the week off before traveling to Houston next Sunday.
It's 5:04, and today marks the last day to register to vote for this year's elections. Our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what you need to know if you're hoping to cast your ballot on November 5th. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so you have until the end of business hours today to register to vote. You can do that at indianavoters.in.gov. That's also where you can check to see if you are registered to vote. So you can double check there. So to vote in Indiana, you must be a U.S. citizen over the age of 18, lived in your home for at least 30 days, and have an Indiana driver's license. Another thing you can see on indianavoters.in.gov is who is on your ballot. There are some big races coming up next month, but the biggest by far in Indianapolis is the race for mayor, as current mayor Joe Hogsett goes up against challenger Jim Merritt. When you head to the polls on November 5th, don't forget the voter ID law. You must have a valid ID that includes your name and a photo, and it has to be state or U.S. government issued. Live in Indianapolis, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Interim Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears will start the week as Marion County's next prosecutor. Mears was elected as prosecutor on Saturday by the Marion County Democratic Caucus. The vote follows the resignation of Marion County Prosecutor Terry Curry last month. Of the 376 eligible precinct committee chairs and vice chairs, 305 cast ballots. Mears was up against Tim Moriarty for the position.
I think there's a lot of people who are invested in this process, and I think it underscores the importance of this job and the ability that this job can have on the community in terms of hopefully having a positive impact on people's lives.
Mears has made headlines recently following his decision to no longer prosecute simple marijuana cases. The prosecutor says he isn't sure whether or not it impacted the voters' decisions, but he hopes it sends a clear message that he is independent and will do, quote, the right thing under the circumstances. He says his focus will be on drawing a hard line in the sand when it comes to violent crime.
Here at 506, a debate over new cell towers that could pop up in your neighborhood will be discussed tonight at Carmel's City County meeting. The wireless companies are installing small cell towers for 5G technology. Call 6 Investigates found there's a push to stop that from happening in Carmel. Last month, the president of the Carmel Cable and Telecommunications Commission sent a memo to the city council highlighting a Health and Human Services study that found cell signals led to cancer in rats. Gail Thomas is one of the many residents concerned about those towers.
The idea is to just make sure that we're not taking this involuntary unknown risk and putting it right next to our bedrooms and our backyards and where we have our, get-togethers without knowing more information, without having the science be settled a little bit more.
Verizon directed us to CTIA, a group representing the wireless communications industry. Their website says typical exposure to 5G is comparable to Bluetooth devices and baby monitors. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock at City Hall. 1 year has passed since a man was hit and killed by a car in Muncie, and this morning police are still asking for help solving the case. Joe Minor would have turned 28 years old this past weekend. Police in Muncie say he was hit by a car just after midnight on October 5th of last year near the Colonial Crest Apartments. Almost an hour and a half later, someone found him lying on the side of Morrison Road, and he was rushed to the hospital. Minor died a short time later on his 27th birthday. Police were able to recover surveillance video, and they are still looking for a smaller boxy SUV with damage to the right side seen leaving the area of the crash. If you have any information, please call Muncie Police. We're learning more about a deadly plane crash that happened near Kokomo on Saturday evening. The Howard County coroner confirms Dr. Daniel Greenwald of Tampa, Florida was the pilot. The crash happened around 5 o'clock Saturday at the corner of State Road 22 and County Road 300 East. Greenwald was flying in the twin-engine plane when it went down into a soybean field. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating to determine why that plane crashed.
Students will return to 2 Northwest Indiana schools this morning after a district employee tested positive for Legionnaire's disease. Duneland School Corporation officials in Porter County closed an elementary school and a middle school after Legionella bacteria was found. School officials say the impacted schools have been cleaned and they've been deemed safe for students to return. You can catch Legionnaire's disease by breathing in mist or vapor infected with the Legionella bacteria. Legionnaire's often has pneumonia-type symptoms. At At 5:09, we want to take a look at our weather. A cooler fall-like morning ahead.
That's right. It's going to feel a lot more like it should this time of year over the next several days. This morning, we're starting out a little bit muggy, and that's just because of that cold front that moved through yesterday, left a little bit of moisture in the air. Temperatures just a smidge above average in the mid-50s, upper 50s, a little bit further to the north. And then we do have just a few stray showers to the south of us this morning, but those are going to move out very quickly in the next couple hours here as that cold front is pushed out by high pressure. When that high pressure builds in, we'll see a lot of those clouds clear out as well. So we are starting cloudy this morning, but we'll clear by the afternoon and see mostly sunny skies. Then we'll allow for that daytime heating, helping our temperatures climbing into the low 70s. And then we'll start a little bit climb throughout the week. We'll be into the mid 70s by Wednesday, upper 70s by Thursday. Then there are some chances of showers and storms as we head through the weekend. All of those details coming up.
Alyssa, thanks. 4 people are dead following a shooting at a Kansas City bar. Breaking overnight, what we've learned about the search for those responsible.
Plus, UAW workers remain on strike this morning. After the break, why economists say the strike could have severe impacts.
Plus, here at 510, we are monitoring some breaking news from the scene in Carmel, where we have a semi-crash along northbound US 31 near Rangeline Road. You can see all the flashing lights there as they work to clear this. No word yet on any injuries, but we do have a crew heading to the scene. You'll need to stay in that one left lane. We'll continue to follow this and keep you updated. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We're getting a live look from our photographer, Eldon Wheeler here. He is in Carmel at the scene of that semi-crash, and you're looking at the damage from the vehicle here at our screen. This is on northbound lanes of US 31 near Rangeline Road. The right lane blocked at this hour. Left lane looks to be still open. Use caution as you travel through this area. We'll work to gather more information and keep you updated.
This morning, 5 people are recovering after an explosion at an Oktoberfest celebration in California. The explosions happened at the Old World restaurant in Huntington Beach. 4 people, including 2 firefighters, were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. A 5th person remains in the hospital this morning with severe injuries. Authorities say the explosions happened in an underground electrical vault.
We were standing in line waiting to get in, and there was like a ball of flame that came up, and we thought it was like maybe part of the show, but then there was another one, and then my friend grabbed my hand, and we just started running, and then there was a 3rd one. So we just thought the whole place was going to be on fire.
Authorities say people inside the festival reported smelling gas prior to the explosions. The investigation into exactly what caused the blast continues this morning.
This morning, Kansas City, Kansas police are still trying to find one of the people wanted in connection to a bar shooting. The shooting killed 4 people and injured 5 others at Tequila KC. Authorities believe the suspects were in a fight at the bar earlier in the evening. Overnight, police released that they found one of those suspects. So far, officials have not released the names of the 4 people killed. Officials say all 4 of the deceased are Hispanic men, but the incident does not appear to be racially motivated. Friends of Alfredo Calderon say that he was among those shot and killed and that he visited that bar often.
They were just hanging out, just hanging out. And it seems you can't even do that anymore.
Well, police say that 40 people were inside the bar at the time of that shooting.
Economists are warning the ongoing General Motors strike could tip the state of Michigan into a recession. The strike by United Auto Workers began on September 16th. Patrick Anderson owns a consulting firm. He says that the nearly 50,000 striking workers have lost $400 million in wages. Anderson says the economic impact of the strike, if it continues, could be severe.
We estimate that we've already lost about 2% of all of that earned income for the 3rd quarter. In the 4th week, it's going to go over 2%. And basically at that time, you're moving to a red light flashing about essentially a 1-state recession for southeastern Michigan.
On Sunday, UAW officials reported talks with General Motors had taken a turn for the worse. The last time General Motors workers went on strike was in 2007. However, that strike was over in less than 3 days. At 5:16, Alyssa's taking a check at our forecast.
And it is going to feel a lot more like fall this week. To start this week, a little bit muggy this morning. That humidity has dropped off just in the past hour or so here, but you might notice it as you step outside. Just know it's not going to be here for long. We have high pressure building in. That's going to clear out that humidity, also clear out those clouds and bring us a lot more sunshine and dry conditions to start the week. Right now, it's 55 degrees in Indianapolis, so we're actually just a smidge above average this morning. Usually, we're in the upper 40s this time of year for our morning lows. To the south of us, a few lingering stray showers. That's to the extreme south, right along Seymour, along I-65. Most of that is starting to dissipate right now. Don't expect that in our area. That's just lingering from that cold front that moved through yesterday. As that low pressure system moved through, brought us just about a quarter inch of rainfall, much needed rain. And now we are going to see a dry streak. That's just because of high pressure building in from the north. We are going to see some cool conditions by tomorrow morning, just because we're not going to have those clouds to insulate us from that dry air that's over the area. Today, starting in the 50s this morning as you head out the door, a little bit of cloud coverage lingering until about mid-morning, and then we will see that quickly clear out this afternoon and plenty of sunshine, allowing us to heat up throughout the day. Those temperatures will climb into the low 70s. Our next chance of showers and storms comes as we head towards the weekend. We have this potent low pressure system that's going to bring us the potential of some showers and thunderstorms late Friday and into Saturday. That's going to be our best chance of seeing some of that activity. Could see quite a bit of rainfall with this system as well as it moves through. And of course, we'll keep an eye on that and warn you as we get closer to that system moving through. But today and for the first half of the week, starting very dry. 54 for our low this morning, right around 8 a.m. Starting a little bit cloudy, then we'll see that clear out. We're going to see a really nice day on tap with those temperatures right where they should be. 70 degrees for our daytime high here in Indianapolis. Tomorrow, staying about the same. It's almost going to be a repeat. 71 for the high on Tuesday. Sunny skies on Wednesday. 74 for the high. And you see those temperatures are climbing a little bit each day. By Thursday, close to the low 80s again. And that's just because we are seeing that daytime heating with that high pressure in control and clear skies. That's allowing those temperatures to climb very quickly. And then by Friday, that's when that low pressure system approaches. That's going to bring us the potential of showers and thunderstorms into Saturday. But look at that. Behind that system, the coolest air mass that we've seen this season so far. Temperatures will climb only into the upper 50s and low 40s to start out Sunday morning.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Well, we have a busy morning up here in Carmel. You're looking at a semi-crash here that happened along northbound lanes of US 31. This is near Rangeline Road there, right at Keystone Avenue. You can see crews are on the scene working to clear this, but right now it is blocking at least one right lane. Left lane looks like it's still open to traffic, and there's not too much of a backup, it looks like, at this hour, but that is good news. But obviously a little bit of a mess here. This may take a little while to clear, so we'll continue to check in there at the scene. But let's take a look at our map at this hour. This is the area we're talking about, northbound US 31 near Rangeline Road. Again, the right lane is blocked. Overall traffic is moving along smoothly. Taking a look at drive times, heading southbound on I-65 from the northwest side, from I-865 in the Dogleg to I-70 at the north split, a 17-minute commute, so no delays there. And here's a live look in downtown at I-65 and Fletcher Avenue. The good news, northbound lanes of I-65 back open already after that weekend road work.
A Kentucky 9-year-old just celebrated his birthday. After the break, how the Louisville Police Department helped make it extra special.
And here's a live look at I-70 near Ronald Reagan Parkway. You can see traffic there is moving along smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. If you're heading out to catch a flight early to start your work week, you shouldn't have any problems on the interstates over there near the airport. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for those crashes and delays and keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stick around.
My spirit connects with that.
Welcome back. We are still monitoring a deadly crash on I-70 out in Clay County. It could cause you problems still if you plan to head west this morning. This is a scene near the Brazil exit. We're told that the crash involves 2 semis and 2 other commercial vehicles. At least 1 person has died in the pileup. This crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning. And INDOT is reporting that they still have those westbound lanes closed as they work to clear this and determine what happened. This is near State Road 59.
Wendy's is taking its fight against frozen beef to another level. The fast food chain just released a new game called Feast of Legends. Wendy's describes it as a tabletop role-playing game similar to the popular game Dungeons & Dragons. Players can download a book from their website and use it to create characters. Those characters are supposed to join together to save the nation of Freshtovia in the land of Beef's Keep. The game is currently available on feastoflegends.com. Lauren, you have to wait until after the show to start playing, okay?
Okay. Well, a girl in Flint, Michigan is an entrepreneur and an author at just 9 years old. Taylor Williams created Taylor's Lip Balm and homemade lip balm business, while she later wrote a children's book called I Like My Lip Balm with her mom. Listen to her describe how it all started.
We started with a science project, and I didn't have no idea, but then my granny had an idea, and then this how I got my lip balm, and then everybody loved it at school.
Well, there you go. Taylor's book is for sale on Amazon. The paperback will cost you $12. Good for her.
So creative. And I like my lip balm, too. The police officers in Louisville, Kentucky, taking time out of their day to attend a 9-year-old's birthday party. Malachi wants to be a police officer when he grows up, so his mother invited officers from Louisville's 2nd Division, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and the Lake Dreamland Fire Department to his party. The officers even brought him a specially made cake. They also swore Malachi in as an honorary police officer.
What would you want to be when you grow up?
A police officer.
Why is that?
So I can catch criminals.
This is the best part about our job. Instead of having to deal with bad guys, we get to come out and have a birthday party with birthday cake.
Malachi says his favorite part of the party was the presents, and if anyone out there wants to be a news anchor when they grow up, we'll gladly come to the birthday party.
That would be so fun.
It would.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do want to talk to Alyssa right now and get a check of our forecast as we head into a brand new work week and a brand new type of weather this week.
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa.
Big change from what we were seeing at this time last week, and I think it's a welcome change.
Yes.
If you want fall, it's here. It's finally here, and it's going to stick with us for a little while yet. 70 for our high today. We'll see those clouds clear throughout the day to sunshine by the afternoon. Sunny on Tuesday and Wednesday and into Thursday. Chances of showers and storms return late Friday and into Saturday. 58 for the high on Saturday.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up in the next half hour, one person taken to the hospital after being found shot in a car. What we know about this East Side shooting scene.
And family and friends gathered to remember a man killed in a home invasion. How he was honored at the somber vigil. But first, here at 5:30, we need to get a check at our weather.
Yeah, we want to check in with Alyssa Donovan as we're heading into this new work week. A new air mass is in place. Alyssa, what can we expect as we step outside?
That's right. It's going to be very different than what we saw at this time last week. Expect some muggy conditions this morning, but that's going to clear out very quickly. Just in the next couple hours here, we're going to see that humidity drop off quite a bit. So we're starting just a little bit humid. Temperatures in the 50s this morning. We'll see us drop off just a few degrees yet this morning. So as you head outside for your daily commute, will likely be into those low 50s and just a little bit of humidity hanging around. That's all from that moisture that moved through yesterday that brought us just about a 1/4 inch of rainfall in Indianapolis. You can see just to the south of us, to the south of Seymour, a few lingering stray showers moving through. That is likely going to dissipate in the next couple hours here. That's all from that cold front that moved through yesterday. Now high pressure is building in. That's going to clear out a lot of those clouds today. We'll see mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. However, a cloudy start, and then we are also going to see that daytime heating take our temperatures into the low 70s today. We'll warm up a little bit as we head through the week before we drop off by the weekend. All of those details coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. We do want to take a live look right now at a traffic alert we have for drivers. This is in the Carmel area. We are monitoring this overturned semi here on northbound US 31. This is right at Rangeline Roads or near Keystone Avenue, so it may slow you down a little bit there as you traveling on the highway. You'll need to stay out of the right lane, scooch over to the left lane, and take it slow and watch for crews who are working in this area. Let's take a look at our map, and I'll show you exactly where this is at. Again, this is on the northbound right lane, US 31, right here near Rangeline Road. We'll continue to monitor that from the scene and keep you updated. But for now, let's take a live look closer to downtown I-65 here at West Street and MLK. Traffic's picking up, as you can see, but it's traveling up to speed. No other crashes here to slow you down.
One person is recovering this morning following a shooting on the city's east side. It happened on Balboa Court near 42nd and Post Road. Authorities tell us they responded to a shots fired call, and when they arrived, they found a man sitting in the driver's seat of a car with a gunshot wound. Police say the car was also shot multiple times. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. No word this morning on if police are still searching for a suspect.
Family and friends came together to remember a man who was killed over the weekend in a home invasion robbery.
Family members confirmed to RTV6 Michael Zenik was the victim who was shot and killed on Edgemont Avenue. It happened just after midnight Saturday. At last night's vigil, there were posters with Zenik's pictures and written messages. One said, "R.I.P. Dad. There is nothing in this world that can explain how I feel." Police have not released much information, however, about this case. So if you have any information about who may have shot Zenik, please contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Police have made an arrest after 5 people were shot outside of an American Legion post in Evansville on Sunday. The alleged shooter, 37-year-old Kimo Johnson, is behind bars facing multiple charges. Investigators were told that Johnson had been in an altercation with one of the victims inside the Legion and was told to leave. The other person involved in the altercation walked outside with a group when witnesses say Johnson began shooting at them. 3 people were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. 2 others suffered minor injuries. Johnson was quickly taken into custody and is being held on multiple charges, including attempted murder and illegal possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon.
2 people are now in custody after a driver led police on a chase through a construction zone and multiple counties on I-65. According to Indiana State Police, a driver sped by a trooper at 100 miles an hour just north of Lafayette around 10 Sunday morning. The driver, 27-year-old Marquin Morrison, refused to pull over and continued north on I-65 through construction over the Wabash River Bridge. The chase went through White County and Jasper County before Morrison lost control and crashed into a minivan. No one was hurt in the crash, but Morrison and his passenger were both arrested. Morrison is now facing multiple charges, including resisting law enforcement, operating while intoxicated, and reckless driving in a work zone.
3 families are dealing with damage to their homes after a fire that may have been caused by lightning. Indianapolis firefighters responded just after 3:30 Sunday morning to Mallard Glen Court in a neighborhood near Southeastern Avenue and Thompson Road. Well, when they arrived there at the scene, they found one home fully engulfed in flames. An Uber driver who had just dropped off a customer saw the flames spreading to one of the neighbors' homes and knocked on the door until they woke up. None of the people living here were hurt, thankfully, but one firefighter was injured due to possible heat exhaustion. Investigators are still trying to determine the exact cause of what sparked that fire.
This morning, the search continues for the person who dumped dozens of paint cans from a moving vehicle in Morgan County, creating a huge mess. Paint and paint cans were found everywhere along Centenary Road in Mooresville. The paint covered the grass and fences. The Madison Township Fire Department tells RTV6 this was clearly a malicious act of vandalism. William Miller lives along Centenary Road, just off of State Road 144. This has been his home for the last 58 years. Just last week, he put a fresh coat of paint on his fence. Now there's white paint all over his yard.
My wife woke me up with a fire department down here with the big floodlights and the men walking up and down the road checking out where the paint went. I just painted that rails and the posts. Now I got to do it all over.
The sheriff's office tells RTV6 they have collected paint cans and evidence technicians are trying to pull fingerprints. They are asking anyone who has damage to call and file a report. If anyone remembers seeing a suspicious vehicle or someone throwing out paint on October 1st or 2nd in the area of Centenary, Man Road, or State Road 144, please call police.
Here at 536, neighbors are concerned after people have been using a Southside Elementary School parking lot right here for drag racing. A woman woman who asked not to be identified out of concern for her safety said that this keeps happening at the back lot of Rosa Parks Elementary School. She says she hears those tires squealing from her house and a white car driving around in circles. The parking lot is just feet away from several homes, and she says she's worried for her grandchildren who play in the neighborhood and the school playground. Neighbors say there would be an easy fix to keep the drivers out by closing the gate to that parking lot. Starting today, a Carmel intersection will be closed while crews turn it into the city's newest roundabout. Construction at the intersection of Main Street and Guilford Avenue is expected to last for 60 days. Crews will replace the traffic signal there with a roundabout.
After a year of planning, leaders on the Far East Side marked the opening of the Capital City Green Space at 42nd and Post Road. Capital City Church of Christ received a community green space grant from Keep Indianapolis Beautiful. It's a project that started last year in collaboration with the Ross Foundation and the Indiana Historical Society. Sheil Sexton volunteered and donated manpower to build the design for the green space in just 2 days. Next up, they plan to create a mural that should be completed by next spring. Today marks the last day to register to vote for this year's elections, and RTV6's Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what you need to know if you're hoping to cast your ballot on November 5th. Good morning, Kelsey.
Good morning. So yeah, you have until the end of business hours today to register to vote, and you can do that at indianavotes.com. That's also where you can check to make sure you are registered in your area to vote. So to vote in Indiana, you must be a U.S. citizen over the age of 18 who's lived in their home for at least 30 days, and you must have a valid Indiana's driver's license. Another thing you can see on indianavoters.com is who is on your ballot. There are some big races coming up next month, but the biggest by far in Indianapolis is the race for mayor, as current Mayor Joe Hogsett goes up against challenger Jim Merritt. When you head to the polls on November 5th, don't forget the voter ID law. You must have a valid voter ID that includes your name and is issued by the state or U.S. government. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Kelsey. And we are starting pretty warm this morning. Temperatures, mild temperatures in the 50s, a little bit warmer than we should be this time of year. Usually we start in the 40s. We are seeing those clear skies as we head through the morning, a little bit of cloud coverage, and then that will all clear out as we head through the afternoon. What's going on right now is we had that cold front move through yesterday. We do have just a few lingering showers to the south of us, right around Seymour, and then to the southeast of that. And then that is all going to clear out. High pressure is building in behind this cold front that brought us that rain yesterday, and that's going to clear out any cloud coverage we have right now, bringing us sunny skies as we head into the afternoon. And then we are seeing that high pressure in control for the first half of the week, which means we're actually going to see those temperatures climb a little bit each day into the mid 70s, into the upper 70s by Thursday, before we see another front approaching that will bring us some changes as we head into the weekend. Today, 70 degrees for our high. Then we continue that warming trend. I'll have more details coming up in the full forecast.
Alyssa, thank you. A second whistleblower coming forward about President Trump's controversial call with Ukraine. Coming up, the latest developments in the impeachment investigation.
And the battle between Disney and Netflix continues. Still ahead, what Disney is now banning Netflix from doing ahead of its own streaming service launch.
And here's the live look right now from our INDOT traffic camera at I-65 and West Street and MLK. Traffic in this area is moving along just fine this morning. No crashes or delays here to slow you down. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Max Life at TJ Maxx.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:43, and we're monitoring this breaking news of a semi crash here in Carmel. Crews are working to upright the semi right now in the northbound lanes of US 31 near Rangeline Road. That's also near Keystone Avenue. You can see from our photographer Eldon Wheeler that they are busy at work in this area. The left lane should be open, but the right lane is blocked off for this mess right here. We'll continue to check in with him at the scene and keep you updated, but give yourself some extra time if you're traveling through that area.
A second whistleblower is now coming forward about President Trump's dealings with Ukraine. ABC's Inez de Lucatera explains what this means in the impeachment investigation.
Overnight, Democrats applauding news of a second whistleblower coming forward.
We are tremendously dependent on people of courage stepping forward.
ABC News was the first to report that the legal team representing the first whistleblower at the heart of that impeachment inquiry is now representing a second whistleblower, an intelligence official with firsthand information about the president's efforts to push Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and his son. And that could spell trouble for Trump, who has repeatedly tried to discredit the first whistleblower for not having direct knowledge of his phone call with Ukraine's president.
He got his information, I guess, second or third hand.
The White House is pushing back. It doesn't matter how many people decide to call themselves whistleblowers about the same telephone call, a call the president already made public, the press secretary said. It doesn't change the fact that he has done nothing wrong. Republicans now struggling to defend the president's latest calls for China to get involved.
The president asked China to investigate.
We know they're not, George. Come on.
Why can't you answer yes or no? Do you think it's appropriate?
I don't, because I don't think that's what he did. I don't think that's what he did.
But it was right there on camera.
But there is a small yet growing number of Republicans who are taking on Trump. Senator Susan Collins calling Trump's request for China to get involved completely inappropriate, though she's still reluctant to weigh in on Trump's dealings with Ukraine.
I don't want to prejudge the evidence. Plus, not all the evidence is in yet.
And this week is expected to be a busy one for the impeachment inquiry. Today, the State Department's George Kent is expected to be deposed. Kent worked on policy in the Ukraine, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has tried to block him from testifying. Inez de la Cuetera, ABC News, Washington.
Today marks the beginning of a new term for the U.S. Supreme Court. In this round, they have a large docket ahead of them. The nation's highest court is set to hear cases involving abortion, immigration, the Second Amendment, and LGBTQ rights. Starting this week, the justices will consider the first civil rights case concerning transgender people. Well, the upcoming cases will show the impact of Justice Brett Kavanaugh, a conservative who's taken over the seat of retired Justice Anthony Kennedy. Demonstrators gathered outside the Supreme Court over the weekend to protest Justice Kavanaugh on the one-year anniversary of his confirmation. They held signs and demanded an investigation into sexual assault allegations into the newest justice. Protesters later marched to the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's home, calling for his removal from office.
The streaming wars are now heating up. This morning, Disney is banning Netflix from advertising on some of its networks. The move comes as Disney continues to move forward with its own streaming channel. Netflix ads will no longer run on ABC, FX, Freeform, and National Geographic. However, Disney says Netflix can advertise on ESPN because the streaming service doesn't offer live sports. Disney's streaming channel, Disney Plus, is set to launch next month. And we are just launching into fall, Alyssa. Finally, those temps have arrived.
Yes, it is here. Fall is here, and it feels like it as you step outside this morning. It's really going to feel like it this afternoon as those temperatures hit seasonable for this time of year. We are in the low 70s. That's where we should be. And then high pressure is building in today. That's going to keep us dry the first half of the week. We do have the potential of some storms moving through by the end of the week, Friday and into Saturday. Looks like it would be the first half of Saturday. So if you do have plans Saturday evening, you might be in the clear. Right now, 55 degrees this morning. That humidity starting to drop off, but you'll notice some of that mugginess as you step outside. Just know it's not going to be here for long. We are going to see those drier conditions by the afternoon, those dew points, and that humidity will drop off. Still tracking a few stray showers this morning to the south of Seymour, moving along I-65. That's just some lingering remnants from that cold front that moved through yesterday, that low pressure system that brought us some rainfall, much needed, just about a quarter inch here in Indianapolis. Now keep in mind, September was the third driest September on record, so we do need some rain. We are going to see the potential by the end of the week, but in between that, some very dry conditions once again. High pressure is building in today, so what that's going to do is clear out some of our cloud coverage by mid-morning. So as you head out this morning, those temperatures will be in the mid-50s. It won't feel too bad outside. We are usually in the 40s this time of year, so we're a little bit above average to start. We'll hit those 40s by tomorrow morning, but then you can see all those clouds move out. We're going to see plenty of sunshine today as we hit our daytime highs. Those are going to be into the low 70s, and that's our averages for this time of year. Next, by Friday, we have this low pressure system that's going to move across the area Friday night and into Saturday. That's going to bring us the potential of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could be strong as we're seeing that now, and of course we'll keep an eye on that for you as that system approaches, but we do have the potential of some gusty winds ahead of that on Friday. Friday and then into Saturday before that clears out. Behind that, one of the coolest air masses that we've seen this season so far. Today, starting in the 50s this morning, a little cloudy to start. Those clouds clear out by the afternoon, and so does that humidity. We'll see dry and beautiful conditions by the afternoon on your Monday. 70 degrees for the high, warming up into the upper 70s by Thursday, just as we see that daytime heating build a little bit each day, and then we start to drop off as that system approaches. Cool air mass in place by Saturday, highs only into the upper 50s.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We are monitoring an issue up in the Carmel area. A semi overturned here along the northbound lanes of US 31 near Rangeline Road right there near Keystone Avenue. Right lane is blocked as they work to upright the semi, and looks like they have to clear some things out of the load. Let's take a live look right now from our crew at the scene. Eldon Wheeler there giving us this live picture at the semi that you can see is still on its side, so it may take a little bit longer to clear this scene. Traffic can still get by in the left lane, so just use caution as you're traveling through that area this morning and give yourself some extra time. Here it is 5:50. Former President Jimmy Carter is recovering this morning. He was taken to a hospital over the weekend after falling in his Georgia home. Carter, who just turned 95 last week, was given stitches on his head and is said to be doing fine. The fall is not stopping him from attending an event in Tennessee for Habitat for Humanity this week. This is his second fall in the last year. He also fell back in May and broke his hip. Carter is currently the oldest living former U.S. president. At 5:51, guests on the newly opened Disney Skyliner at Walt Disney World were briefly trapped after the new transportation system broke down. The gondola system at Disney World's newest form of transportation Disney's newest form of transportation, and it takes guests from Hollywood Studios and Epcot to nearby resorts. Guests were stuck for hours, and firefighters had to rescue several people who were stuck on board. Thankfully, though, no one was hurt. It's unclear at this hour what caused the Skyliner to stop.
Carving jack-o'-lanterns is a popular October tradition, but what about doing it underwater? After the break, how scuba divers are taking on the challenge. We'll be right back.
Prices at Ross. Yes for less.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:54 on your Monday, and we are monitoring this overturned semi here in Carmel on US 31, the northbound right lane. That's what's blocked at this hour. Crews are working to clear this near Rangeline Road. It looks like you can still get by in one left lane, but of course this is something we'll continue to monitor this morning, as it looks like it may take a little bit longer to clear.
If you've had a hard time carving a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween, maybe try doing it underwater. A creative group of scuba divers competed in an annual pumpkin carving contest in the waters of Key Largo, Florida this weekend. Nearly 24 artists competed in teams of 2 at about 30 feet underwater. They were given dive knives and carving tools for their pumpkin. The divers say the biggest challenge is keeping the pumpkins from floating away while they carve them. 2 divers from Detroit took first place and won a free dive trip in Key Largo. Very cool.
Looking pretty good right there. Well, a Connecticut man is now setting the record for the heaviest pumpkin. Alex Noel won the title at Topsfield Fair in Massachusetts with his pumpkin weighing in at 2,294 pounds. That's the heaviest pumpkin ever entered into the fair competition. Well, the organizers had to use a forklift to move the giant pumpkin. He says the secret is in the seeds and daily nurturing. The world record for the heaviest pumpkin was grown in Belgium in 2016, and it weighed in at more than 2,600 pounds. I don't even know how you get started getting a pumpkin that size.
No
Crazy.
idea.
We're not farmers, though, I guess, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we do want to check in with Alyssa because it's starting to feel more like fall outside if people are going to the pumpkin patch or any of those activities.
It's going to be some great pumpkin patch weather this week. We are seeing just a few stray showers to the south of us this morning, to the south of Seymour, moving along I-65, but you can see that's dissipating quickly. That's really just the last of those showers that moved through yesterday. That cold front brought us just about a quarter inch of rainfall. Next, we are going to dry out. Today, we are starting in the 50s with cloudy skies. We'll clear out by the afternoon with mostly sunny skies, 70s for the high. We are dropping off by the end of the week, though. I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.